Hello guys, back again today. We're going to update everything that I got yesterday. I am so far behind in people's videos. I have to apologize to everybody. I can't believe how many new videos are up. I actually watched Petco's video on his move. Sucks that you lost a couple of those little babies, but we've all been there. But I think I watched Tarantula Cat's video on her new thing that she got yesterday or Sunday at the expo that she went to. I watched somebody else's video now. I can't remember who it is, but I got a lot of catching up to do. So I'm getting there. We're slowing down. Alex just got back home a couple hours ago. Got all his stuff in the house. Got to go through all of it, organize everything. It's madhouse for a couple days when he comes back home because of all his stuff, and then getting it because we don't have a lot of room here. So getting it where it needs to get to be stored for the summer before he goes back in the fall. So this is the vinegar room, and all I really did was I took the Brachypelma hamori out of the enclosure that she came in, and I put this one in there. Relatively easy, just kind of coaxed it a little bit, and it crawled out of that one right into this one. And then I put this piece of wood in here, and it likes that piece of wood. It's been all over it. The only thing that I don't like, I wish this enclosure was probably like an inch taller because, you know, when you put the lid on, there's not a lot of room between the lid and the top of that. So even though there's enough room for it to get over, I wish there was just a tad bit more room. So I'm going to look for something different for this one. The mini football helmet enclosure would probably be a real good thing to do. And I do want to transfer Cheeto once Cheeto molts. So that's probably what I'm going to do is just leave this little one in here until Cheeto molts, and then we'll move that guy into Cheeto's enclosure and put Cheeto into something different. And we'll put Cheeto into her final enclosure. And I'll show you what she's going to go into because it's what I put the female Brachypelma hamori into. So we'll just bring everybody down one by one and show you guys what I did with them. The Stichoplastoris species Nicaragua, I did not move that one, again, because it's in deep pre-mold. I just want to leave it in there. Let it do its thing. Once it molts, I'll wait about a week or so, let it harden up, and then we'll put it into, you know, the enclosure that we're planning on putting it into. So that's where we're at, and I'll just start bringing you stuff down. Okay, so here is the Brachypelma Kallenbergi. This is the same type of enclosure that my Neoholothelli Inse female's in, who's probably just a tad bit bigger than this guy, and the Ephebopus marinus, and we're getting real close to having to transfer the Ephebopus marinus out of that into something bigger, and I think once I do that, that one will definitely probably go into a final type of enclosure. So probably something similar to the Brachypelma hamori in that size range is going to be my guess, because I like the enclosure, or the bin that I bought for those. I have 4 of them. I put holes in 2 because I want to move the Aphonopelma chalcodes out of the enclosure that she's in and put her in one of those 2. They're a little bit taller. Not as wide as the ones that they're in, but they're a little bit taller. Pretty much the same length, I think minus an inch. But I like them because they're a tad bit taller, so I can put a little bit more dirt in there and give them a little bit more tunneling area. So yeah. So anyway, this is the basic enclosure. This is what it's in. This is a cube. I got these from the Christmas tree store, actually. These are Glad containers, actually. That's the manufacturer, so that your Glad garbage bags and stuff, same kind of manufacturer that makes these. Well, their names on it anyway. I'm sure it's not them that makes them, but yeah. So there's the Kallenbergi. So we'll move on to the little guys, and like I said, we'll just keep on rolling. Okay, so you're not going to see this little one. It's inside the skull. This is the Cericopelma melanotarsum. I don't know the common name for this. I didn't look it up, so I honestly have no clue if there even is one. But yeah, so I didn't look it up, and I didn't care. So, you know, shoot me if you want, but I'm not a big fan of common names anyway. So this is a softball cube. I had to flip a coin between this one and the Pamphobedius Antinus, or Antinus. Actually, I think it's how it's spelled, Antinus. But when I looked at them, this one was a little bit bigger. So I went with this one in the softball enclosure because it's the only one I had left. This was the enclosure that Cheddar was in before, before Cheddar died, and then Cheddar wasn't in it anymore. But so it's been sitting vacant for a week, so that's who we moved into it. I was actually going to move one of my C. discluses into them, or the other Can Krishan. I'm glad I didn't, because this one was just a little bit too small or too big for the baseball cube. So I'm probably going to have to invest in a handful more of these softball enclosures, but I do want to move the Sednoctimus brachyhermosa and the Chilobrachys fimbriatus will be ready to move out of these real quick. The fimbriatus could move out of them right now, but I have to wait for the Sednoctimus brachyhermosa to molt. They'll need something a little bit longer now. They're just going to be too big. That the fimbriatus has gained some good size pretty quick. So, okay, so it's in there. Trust me, it's in there. I don't know if we can tip it, and you can. No, you're not going to see it one way or another. I don't know if I can. Let's try the old flashlight trick. Can you see it there? It's in there. I swear it's in there. There it is. So it's back there, chilling out. So we're going to try and feed these guys here in the next couple of days. So we'll try this guy, and then the small ones that I have. We may actually try and feed the Brachypelma hamori female. She was easy to move because her container fit in the new container pretty easily, but she was right out of her container, right up the side, trying to crawl right out of that one too. So she's going to be a handful, I think. Okay, let's move on. Okay, so this is the one I'm still debating, because this little dude is tiny, and so it's do I leave it in that or do I put it in this? Because I think it's going to swim either way. I could put it in something smaller, but these dudes are so fast, and being that small, they're just so fast you'd lose them. They're gone. You just wouldn't find them. And I really, really want this one to grow up. So I think I'm going to leave it in here for now, see how it does, and go from there. The only problem I see is that there's no ventilation here. It's only top ventilation, so we're going to see what happens. I do have a little, I have two pieces, I don't want to say two pieces of equipment, but they're two tools that I have. I will show them to you, and I can easily put some holes in the side. This is one of them. I don't even know. I had this at work. I don't even know why I have it, but it's just like an awl, or a scratch awl. And it pops right through the plastic, makes a nice little hole. So I could probably do that with the little guy still in there. It may agitate him a little bit, but I've done it before. And then I have this, and I recommend getting one of these, especially for those of you that like to use deli cups. I think I've showed this before, but this is a reamer. I think I paid like $3 or $4 for it. There's the company that makes them. I think it came from China, but it goes up to like 3/8 of an inch. I think maybe this is a 1/2 inch wide, but it's tapered, and it's got the cutting edges on both sides. So if you want to increase the hole size of something soft plastic, I've even done it with the acrylic, but it's a little bit tougher, and you run the risk of cracking it using this more than a drill bit or something else. But this can increase some sizes if you do it right, not too much pressure, and just take your time. But it works really, really good on deli cups. So, okay, let's get the three baseball cube guys down. Okay, so here is the Pamphobedius antinus, and the common name for this is actually the steely blue leg. And I wanted to go on. Well, I went on YouTube just to look and see how many people had these, how many videos there were for them. Same thing with the A. franki and the Stichoplastoris. I didn't check that one, but I did check the Cercopelma mesenotarmus, or melanotarmus, sorry, to see how many videos were out. There's only a couple for the melanotarsum, so that's going to be kind of cool. This one has a handful of them, and the first one that popped up was Tom Moran. I should have known, because Tom's got just about everything, but a gorgeous tarantula. His was pretty good size. I think it was filmed last year. But so this is just a baseball cube. You can see he's not as big in here as he looked in that vial that he was in, or she. I just gave it a piece of cork bark, dug a little starter burrow for it, and put it in here. I'm waiting for some tattoo ink pots to come in, and then I'll use those for water dishes. You'll see one that was already in the C. darlingi enclosure. So yeah, that's the P. antinus. We'll move on to the Harpactira namaquiensis. Again, I don't terribly trust these tarantulas, but there's the little dude right there. I didn't go deep with the substrate because I don't know if this is a burrowing species or if this is a, like a Harpactira pulchripes where they don't burrow so much, but they do a lot of webbing and then hang out in a corner. Some of my Tarantulas species that I have, they're supposed to be burrowing species, but a couple of them aren't. The other couple are, so no, don't you dare. I get that. Ooh, I feel air. I'm coming out. So, yeah, just put a plant in there. And again, once I get the tattoo ink pots in, we'll put a little water dish. So we'll see how these guys progress over the week. We'll do an update on these guys all next week. Here's the little darlingy. I didn't realize how tiny this guy is until I put him in here. Actually, my little Marshalli might be just a tad bit bigger than this one is right now, and it's still in a little tiny vial. But I do have no more. I don't have no more baseball cubes available, and I don't really want to buy more. So what I need to do is go buy more softball enclosures, and then move some of the ones out of the baseball enclosures. The Chilobrachy species especially can come out of there. Probably the Homoiema species blue that I just put in there can come out, and so can the Bumba caboclo. They could probably go into softball enclosures. I free up a few of these so I can get the Dolichothele diamentinensis, the other Etiothelomira, the Stratojaris Marshalli, and I think that's it. It needs to go into something a tad bit bigger. They're okay in what they are right now, so I'm not in a big rush. Just progressively over the summer, I want to start moving some of these. There goes my light again. Into acrylics. So let me plug in the other light and we'll move on. Okay, here is the Acanthogonatus franki. The Chilean gold dust is what their common name is. You can kind of guess where they're from. So when we do the Chilean part, we'll add her in there. She is in the new Dreamcoat plastic enclosure. So this is basically what I did. I'm going to hold you here because I threw some leaf litter in there. I put this log here so she can funnel web around here. And this little thing came in today. I got this actually free. If anybody's not on the Wish app, and the only problem I have with the Wish app is stuff takes forever to get here because it all comes from China. But it's one of those kind of tangled up wood pieces. I got it for free. All I had to do was pay $2 to ship it here. So I actually wished I would have done like 5 or 6 of them because they are kind of cool. They have the small ones and then they have a larger one. The larger ones are like $3 to ship. But so yeah, I'll turn you. I like this enclosure. There's just one thing that I would change, but I don't want to talk about that right now. We'll talk to. I don't want to hurt my painting. So this is basically what you're looking at. So they sell these things at like our pet store here. Buzz and Bees has them. I think the Heartland Pets has them. They're like $9. I got it for $2 shipped here. It took 37 days to get here, but again, pretty cool. So I did put some extra vent holes in across here. I didn't get big ones, but so there's 3 here, and there's 6 on each side, 3 down here and 3 there. If I need to put more in, it's not that big of a deal. I can do it pretty easily. I did throw a roach in there for her, thinking that she might eat. She didn't have anything to do with it. She's not tried to web anything yet, but she does like to crawl all over that log. So we'll, she'll be fun to update because, the work that she's going to put in. Well, you guys are looking at absolutely nothing here. The work that she'll start putting in with the webbing and everything will be kind of cool to see the transformation of the enclosure. So let's get down the star of the show, the Brachypelma hamori female. Let's see if she'll actually stay in her enclosure. So for those of you that have problems with shaking video, you're going to have to probably turn it off here. I can't really get her for where she's at because of where the table is located and the dresser, and then there's not enough room on here to do it with the tripod. I can try to do it like this. There, that'll work. So there she is in all her glory. She likes the plant. When I put her in, we were on the other side of the enclosure. She got out, she crawled right up the side. Put my hand in front of her. She kind of crawled on it and then turned around and crawled back. Walked to the other side, did the same thing. This time she crawled all 4 of her front legs up to my hand and then turned around and crawled back. And now this is where she's kind of been since then. So I am just so thrilled with this one here. Always wanting a Brachypelma. Brachypelma is just an absolute lovely genus. They're colorful. They have attitudes. They have, granted, they can go a long time. Pre-molt sucks for them because it does take a long time. But I've noticed a lot of my Brachypelma, the bigger ones, tend to eat a little bit closer to molt than some of the other genus, like a Faunopelma. Faunopelma will go 6 months without eating. Grammostola. Obi ate like 2 weeks before he molted last time. So I plan on moving Obi into a similar enclosure as this, so they'll be, on top of each other for life. I don't want him to mature too quick, so I until I see spermathecae from her, knowing that we're good. But she's not full grown, so she still has probably a good 1.5 inches or so in her, maybe even just a tad bit more. But a lovely spider, and you could see her abdomen's not very big, so she probably could eat. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shut you guys off, go get her something to munch on, and see if we can get her to feed. So yeah, don't crawl out again. Okay, so I'm not guaranteeing that she's going to eat, but I would suspect she does, so we'll just have to find out if the roach gets to her and she just jumps off there and gets it. Hopefully she doesn't come out of the enclosure, because she is an enclosure escaper. And that's if the roach actually doesn't. The only problem about having leaves in your enclosure is that the feeders, the prey items, tend to sometimes. I walked right by you, dear. You didn't want anything to do with it. They tend to like, especially these red runners, they'll get underneath these leaves and just kind of hang out there. No, you're not coming out. No. Listen, there's food in there. You don't have to. Yeah, she's not being a good girl at all. Yeah, she's thinking quick. Don't turn your back on Brachypelma, especially her. Now I see why Ruth gave her to me. She's crazy. You little nut job. Honestly, God, it's like she just knows. She wants to come out. She desperately wants to come out. And you got lots of room. You roach. No. See, look at her. Get back down there. No. Oh, you are bad. You are bad. Stay down there. Eat this roach. That'll give you something to do. I mean, she's rather docile, but she just wants to come out. I mean, you could see just, well, I can't kind of trying to keep her from crawling out because I don't want her to crawl out and then get on my floor. So, I mean, you can get her to sit for a minute or two, but she's just like, she's like a Euantha species red. The enclosure lid comes off and the roach went in your hide, dear. Oh, man, you are going to be a treat. Definitely going to be a treat. Okay, well, I'm going to get her to the middle here, hopefully, without her trying to crawl out anymore, which doesn't seem like that's going to happen because she just wants to come out. Roach is right in front of her, and she got it. Now you won't come out. Now everybody could just actually see you for a little bit here now. So yeah, she's going to be a handful, I think, but the difference between her and Obi is that if I touch Obi, he flies right into his hide. So if he starts to walk around, if I open the lid, he's trying to hide. She's trying to come out. So I have a feeling that, she could go on your hand pretty easily. I've not held a Brachypelma of any size, so I don't know how I would react to any of the hairs that they would. I don't think that I would have an issue right now, but you just never know. And I don't want to develop one. You know, I know people that don't have an issue with them will tend to get an issue later on, and it gets really, really bad to the point where, you know, you can't even work with them anymore. I think that's why Amy got rid of most of hers, because the hairs were really starting to bother her. I don't know if they bother quit, but I think they do. I think they only have the one Brachypelma albiceps left that they should just send to me because they like me. But nice, beautiful female. I tried to find them a nice female that was on their list, Avicularia purpurea, I think a Tapanakinius gigas female, but they didn't have any at the show, because I would have bought them and then sent it to them, and then we would have worked out a deal for their Brachypelma albiceps female, but no luck. So we're going to figure out a name for this lady. It's going to have to be fitting because she is a character. But at least she ate. We got the quick takedown, someone on film. I know the camera was kind of jittery going back and forth trying to keep her in and show you guys the footage at the same time. But so yeah, that's everybody. That's everybody that I got. I can't be, you know, happier. I went through everybody that I looked at today so far. I haven't found any molds, but I still have quite a few to look at. Probably not going to happen today, though, unless I get back later on tonight and be able to do it, because we got to get Eric's haircut prom this weekend. It was my mother's 70th birthday yesterday, so we're going to go over there today. Lots of stuff going on. It's been a busy handful of days. So, all right, well, we're going to take a picture because this is going to be the thumbnail that you're looking at right now. Just a nice, beautiful picture of her, and we'll get you a nice close-up view. And you can see how the hair, I mean, her hair on her abdomen there, the ones that look white on screen, are red. But that's the way the lighting is, and picking it up through the camera on the phone kind of dulls it down, because she's a lot more vibrant in person than she's looking on my phone. I don't know what she'll look like on TV. I'll be honest with you, probably over the course of the last month and a half or so, every video that I've made, I have not watched one of them. I have not watched them before I uploaded them, so I don't even know, you know, if I made mistakes in there, or, you know, when I melded clips together, when I was talking about something and started a new clip and left off, did I pick right back up, or did I miss something? But I haven't watched any of my stuff. So I don't know how it's going to turn out, or how it turns out, or whatever. I know last night's video was long, 40-some minutes, but yeah. So I have to actually, while I'm uploading this, I got to get on YouTube and watch Andrew's Tarantula tag, because he's the one that I tagged for Tarantula Tag 2, and his video is uploaded. The cat tagged Exotic Slayer, so his is going to be up soon, and you'll find out who Andrew tagged and how he answered the questions. And yeah, so we shall see you guys later. We definitely got to come up with a good name for her. So get your thinking caps on. I'm going to start pondering some things, and I was going to name her Ibu, which would be IBO, which is the opposite of Obi, but I thought that was kind of corny. But so, or Ibo, I guess you could say, Ibo and Obi, but you say Obi, so you'd have to say Ibo, right? So if you think that's kind of cool, then that's what we'll name her. But if you guys come up with some other things, I'd like to just give her a female name, but I'd like it to be catchy, you know, something different, something, you know. I have to look up what's Spanish for flower, or something like Spanish for red, or I don't know. We'll figure it out. So we'll see you guys later. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Don't forget to hit that bell up top if you want to get notifications for when anything new comes out. And thanks for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed, please do. The PayPal Me account link will be in the description. The next video that I'll be doing will probably be the Dreamcoat Plastics video. I'm going to get a hold of Kevin tonight with a list of questions for him to answer, so I have that information in the video. So we'll see everybody later, and have a great day.